Greetings to my brothers and sisters, Hebrew Israelite brothers and sisters. This is the third Charles D. And I have a thought. So I was just shown the comments that Kanye West made today. And I don't know how much commentary I'll ever be given on world events, and especially when it comes to entertainment and sports and all that kind of stuff. That's typically not what I have in mind to do, but I did want to share the thought that I have with you from the comments that he made, which in my opinion are absolutely ridiculous. If you don't know what he said, go find that video, and so you can get exactly what his words are. You can judge for yourself. But basically, I will tell you, basically it sums up by saying he made the statement that slavery was a choice for us. That with us being enslaved for almost 400 years, that at some point it became a choice because we should have recognized that we had the numbers to rise up and fight against our oppressor and come out of it. That's the idea he's conveying. He didn't even use those words. He wasn't even smart enough to at least explain himself, or at least TMZ, who he was talking to. If he said that, they edited that out. It doesn't matter, though. You can't say slavery was a choice when it wasn't. That was ridiculous. But he went on to say some other things. He represents the black race, but he represents all races. And I couldn't help but think that sounds a lot like what happened. Again, you'll find this information, this historical record, in the Apocrypha. When we were under Greek captivity, the Greek ruler Epiphanes surnamed Antiochus, and this is found in the book of Maccabees, First Maccabees. He put out a decree that was backed up by some wicked Israelites, that everybody is just going to be one people. Everybody's going to be the same. And that is known in history as Hellenization, or being Hellenized, or the Hellenistic period. And if you don't believe me, you go look it up. It's historical fact. The Hellenistic period, when to be Hellenized means to become Greek in character. So they were encouraging up to and including enforcing people, forcing people to take on Greek customs and culture and laws. So we had Israelites leaving the Most High's laws in trade for the Greek laws. So you're talking about, idol worship. You're talking about profaning the dietary and Sabbath laws. They were doing that. Most of them willingly, because they were threatened with death. But there was a lot of them that would do it in public, but was trying to adhere to, or was adhering to the Most High's laws and commandments in their private lives. But if they were found out, they were killed. But the message was the same. Let's just all be one. We're all one people, because that's what's going to help bring on the strength of this country, of this kingdom, of his kingdom. And he had a large kingdom. And there's a guy that I really like, a teacher. His name is Kazawan. He has a YouTube page called The Tribe of Judah Teach. He is an excellent teacher, and he talks about this. He has a teaching called Who is Abraham's Seed? And probably right in the middle of this, the middle to start, towards the 3/4 of the way in the video. It's about an hour-long video. It's a teaching, but it's incredible. He goes into detail about the history of the Hellenistic period and what was going on then. So either go research it for yourself, or go find that video, Who is Abraham's Seed, by the Tribe of Judah Teach page, and you'll see. I'm not making this up. So when Kanye was making these statements, that's exactly what came to my mind. Here we go again, making these statements that we can all just be one. And this has been going on for a while in this country. They keep telling us that. Meanwhile, they keep treating us Hebrews differently. They hold us to a higher level of responsibility or accountability when it comes to the laws. Meaning, when one of ours breaks the laws, the penalties are a lot harsher versus when somebody else of a different nation or nationality breaks that same law, or even worse than. So the commentary anyway, or what they're saying is, yeah, we're all one people. It's in the Pledge of Allegiance that I'm old enough that we used to have to say that when I was in kindergarten, first, second, I think even up to third grade, before it started kind of disappearing. But we used to have to say the Pledge of Allegiance every day. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. What a bunch of garbage that is, because it's not true. It's not true. It's not liberty and justice for all. We are treated differently, and it's being made more apparent every day. But my thoughts, that was my thoughts on that, was that we are still being Hellenized. We are still in a Hellenistic period. Maybe not to the extent that was in human history that term refers to, the Hellenistic period, but it's still happening. It's still happening. We are still being made to think and act like our captors, who are predominantly of Greek and Roman descent. And you can see it in our buildings and in our architecture and in the way that they live. And I mean, Greeks were known for their love of pork. And if you ever decided, if you eat pork and you decided to stop eating pork, and you're going to look and see how many, what has pork in it, so you don't eat it, you would be amazed at how many things have pork in it. Like gelatin is pork. That's a pork product. So now it ain't about just making sure your salad don't got bacon bits in it, or you just don't order the pork chop. It is, I have to check labels because I don't want food that has gelatin in it, because I know that gelatin is a pork product. They put pork in everything. So, and obviously not everything that's a dramatic statement, but there's pork in a lot of things, is what I'm saying. So, those comments are ridiculous, but I just wanted to make the point that we haven't really come that far. The more, the saying goes, the more things change, the more they stay the same. We're still being Hellenized. We're still being brainwashed. We're still being conditioned to think a certain way. And unless you are actively fighting against that system, fighting against that thought process, you won't even know it. That's why the term is you're asleep, because things are happening and you don't even have, you have no clue. When we are asleep is when we are the most vulnerable. So it makes sense why that's the term. And then the popular term now is being woke. But my point is this: if you're going to be quote unquote woke or conscious, if you ain't changing anything in your environment or in your life, just knowing the information ain't enough. That ain't woke. You ain't woke if you ain't changing. You ain't woke if you ain't changing. Because if you was really woke, that demands change. I cannot be aware of the things, of the information, or be conscious of what's going on around me and then remain the same and just live my life like it's all good, like nothing's going on. That ain't woke at all. It ain't enough to say it. Another old saying: don't talk about it, be about it. As we used to say, don't talk about it, be about it. So, anyway, my thoughts. We're still being Hellenized, and it's ridiculous. And I do not agree with Kanye. He does not represent me. And I'm nobody. Nobody know me. My videos don't get watched. I don't care. I'm still putting my thoughts out there because that one person that might need to hear that, you know, it's available for them to hear. And that's all I care about. So if I can help one person open their eyes, and the Most High uses me to get to them, that's fine. I'm just a tool. I'm just a vessel. I got no problem with that. It's unfortunate, and it's only going to get worse, family. It's only going to get worse. So your time is now. The time to start making some changes. The time to start making some decisions. It's now, and you're running out of time. I can tell you that right now. I feel like I'm running out of time, and I've made changes. I've made decisions, and I'm moving in a different direction. And I still feel like, man, this time is so short. It's crazy. So I guess that's all I got to say on that one. Peace and blessings.